Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Okay. I don't know if you heard that little echo there or not, but anyway, Black Queen, where has my queen been? Where has the Black Queen been? Huh? Where have you been? Missed you. Anyway, yes, I am on a little bit early today. I may come back later. I'm not sure yet, but we'll see how it goes. But right now, I'm going to have to do it again. Hey, what's up, Sussex Squad? Coming in here. Get in here, you guys. Close the door. We got to talk. Huh? Now, you got to admit, I do that pretty well. I think so. I do that pretty well. You really have to put some energy into that. But it is like one of my favorite things ever. That's like my favorite thing since thank you for clicking on my channel, right? Or let me see, what's another one? Okay, anyway. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no, no. My ultimate favorite is hello, Ivy here. Bye for now. Bye from Ivy. Bye. Okay, so anyway, let's get into it. Let's get into this here. We got to get into this here. Where is Kate Middleton? Where is Kate Middleton? Um, y'all, things ain't looking good. Things ain't looking good. This announcement, I must say, has thrown me for a bit of a loop. Um, it's one of those things where you feel like they're trying to prepare you for something, but you don't want to believe that anything is that obvious, for lack of a better word. But absent the truth, and I do mean the real truth, um, what what else is there to think? What else is there to think? What else is there to believe? So I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, we'll get into it. I prepared a few slides to you know what? I haven't seen this one for a while. I had better put a label on that so I can make sure I can find it next time I need it. Uh does that work? Yeah, well anyway, I'm going to save that and let's see here. No. Okay. Okay. Just about you guys. Let me see here. Hmm. Okay, one more thing and I think we're good. Just one more thing, and I think we're good. All right. I'm going to bring up the slides and then we'll get into this. Okay. Give me just 1 second. Okay. Okay, I got to do that one more time. It's just too tempting. Hey, what's up, guys? No, I cannot do it. All right, slide is coming up. Slide is coming up. And all right, and don't any of you all rat me out. You got me. Do not rat me out. My impersonations. That is something that is just between us. You never go back and tell anybody. Otherwise, I am going to admonish you with my stare. That's what I'm going to do. Let me see. Okay, there we go. Slides are up. Let me take this away and then we'll go for it. Okay. So it appears that Kate is out. It seems as though Kate is out, and I just mean out. Now, what does that mean for her in terms of, you know, health and well-being? The last we heard is that She is being treated with chemotherapy, preventative chemotherapy, which is something that many people have said does not exist, but they are sticking to their story with that. And and so we have no choice but to accept it for what it is. Please don't forget to hit that like button. And also, if you're not a subscriber to Royal Sussex, please consider becoming a subscriber, please. It does so much for the algorithm and it helps new people find the channel. And anyway, it does so much. You have no idea. So please consider that. So right here, let's take a look back at, oh, let me see, was this a week ago? Breaking: Princess of Wales will probably not appear in public for the rest of the year and is being surrounded by her birth family. Royal sources and friends of Kate Middleton have told the Daily Beast. Now, at the time, I recall that I believe it was Henry VIII, who is also a content creator, as well as someone who has a an account on the social media app formerly known as Twitter, um, X. And of course, if I recall, she actually is a nurse or works in the medical field. Is she a doctor or a nurse or whatever? So, listen, I'm a baby boomer. And as a baby boomer, when I hear somebody is surrounded by their family or their family is with them now, you know what I'm thinking? I'm like, oh Lord, we ain't got long to go now. Um, but it's it was a weird way to say it, and we still just could only imagine what they were trying to say. I came to the conclusion that it was strange because hasn't she been with her family already? Or has she been away from her family? Or, in other words, have she been restricted or kept away from her family? Whatever the case may be, it was an odd statement. Nubian Queen, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you so much. Actually, super chat. Oh, beautiful. I missed you. Oh, thank you, Nubian Queen. And we miss you as well. Thank you so much for being here. And also, thanks for watching Royal Sussex. Always divorce, in my opinion. Who on earth gives a cancer diagnosis solo, especially for a family who is supposed to be a family is orientated, and the whole picture. Oh yeah, the thing with the photo. Um, they put out that notice for the photo. That was also very puzzling. Um, Glow Aesthetics. Oh, thank you so much for being here. I don't think I've ever seen that name before. Hi, Joan Garcia. Thank you for being here. Okay. All right. So here we go. All right. So disgusting. That is new wave of trolling of. Oh Lord, I'm sorry. I did that again. I just hit the. Let me make sure this mic is working. Sometimes I pull the mic and I put my finger on the thing and let me see here just to make sure. Yes, we have voice. All right, very good. So the Princess of Wales is being encouraged by someone who features on. Oh yeah, yeah. The trolling is being encouraged by someone who was featured on the Harry and Meghan docu series on Netflix. Um, and I would say to Richard Eaton that the trolling from the other side, if you will, from the derangers, has been encouraged by royal reporters, present company included, for the purposes of this conversation. Um, the thing is, Christopher Bosie has been giving them too much heat and they don't like it. Approximately 9 million women are diagnosed with cancer each year. The vast majority of those women do not stop working while undergoing treatment. Kate hasn't been seen in public since December, and no matter how much the UK press tries to spin it, it's not normal. It is not normal. Okay. Um, One of my relatives uh, that actually had a mastectomy and was, going through a lot of treatment and such. Actually, when I was a kid, and this was not cancer today, this was cancer the 1970s, was able to take myself and my cousin not only to Disney World, but to Disneyland. We did so much stuff. I kid you not. I mean, we were constantly on the move. It kept her busy, and we of course had the chance to bask in the glow of someone who we felt was truly dynamic. And so that was Cancer 1970s. Well, we have stem cells and what else is it? Immune therapy. Is that the same thing? Anyway, there's so many more things that are available. We know so much more than we knew back in those days. When I say we, I mean medical science, not myself. And as lay people, do not be afraid to question this. Do not be afraid to question this because most people, hey, Connie Palmer, most of us are older adults, and inevitably, we are all somehow or have been, um, even individually for ourselves or for other people in our circle, we have all encountered cancer, and nobody's cancer looks like this. Nobody's. Now, you say it's abdominal surgery, and then during that surgery, cancer was found. So I'm assuming that you have not been disfigured in some type of way. I'm assuming. I don't know for sure. But that being the case, um, where's Kate Middleton? I'm telling you, my experience with cancer in my immediate family, in my circle of relations and friends, friends that are like family, I've never seen such a thing. And more people are asking that question. But unfortunately, there are not enough people that are taking notice because once it was announced that it was cancer and the tabloids began to verbally, well, not verbally, but not just the tabloids, but some of the royal reporters, they verbally chastised people for even bringing it up. Aren't you ashamed that you doubted Kate? Although you and I know that that wasn't the real problem. The real problem was Rose Hanbury. That was the problem. When Stephen Colbert mentioned the Marchess of Chumley or the marching band of Kamali, whatever he said eventually, that seems to be when somebody hit the panic button. Also, that unfortunate photo, the Franken photo, somebody hit the panic button. There was a few things that happened in quick succession that sounded the alarm, and they were just like, "Okay, we got to shut this down. We got to shut it down." This is not like the old days where they could just handle people and get away with it. Nowadays, people ask questions, and people are asking questions. I'm asking questions. I want to know, where is Kate Middleton? So um, it has been puzzling to say the least. It has been puzzling. So let me continue. Um, Everything hinges on Kate Middleton's well being for Prince William as he carries family's pain. He's carrying the pain of the family, even when he's at a football game or when he's out for drinks, he's carrying that pain. And when he's frequenting other places that we can only speculate about, he is processing, he's handling the family pain. Sure, he is. Even though there's been an alleged account from a neighbor of the frequent trips of a helicopter, we're not allowed to mention that because of security reasons. You know, a huge price of the sovereign grant goes towards security. And I'm pretty sure the transportation and the £8 million helicopter that was purchased by the late Queen, all of that figures into royal security. So we'll never know what the real price is because that has been concealed for security purposes. But if there was ever an actual log of the amount of flights to and from Anmer Hall, to and from the Windsor Estate, to and from the Kensington Palace, and any place else for that matter, then we would know what William's whereabouts are. But William has several days at a time when he makes absolutely no public appearances, right? And the best way to get him out of the house, Paxatani um, Wells, uh, the best way to get him out of the house is to watch Harry and Meghan. Well, in particular, watch Harry do something, and then suddenly, just like a jack in the box, you know how you crank the handle, blump 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 blump, and of course, pop goes the Willie. Oh, wait a minute, I should have thought about that. That sounds funny, doesn't it? Okay, I probably shouldn't have said that, but I'll let me I'll say out comes the no 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 that sounds even worse. But William appears. You get my point. William appears. You just crank that handle, and next thing you know, he just pops out like a clown emerging from a box. You know what I'm trying to say? Pop goes the Willie. Oh Lord. Anyway, that's what I mean. I think. Um, so, but let me just say this. Let me say this. We were told that there was going to be an announcement for the first of the year. We heard that several times that there was going to be an important announcement for 2024. What, pray tell, was the announcement? Now, there was the idea of a pending divorce. And see, if you all recall, I just shared with you all that, oh, I forget the woman's name from TikTok, where she reminded us, she mentioned it, I'm going to say December the 27th, about the announcement for 2024. And what's interesting is, see, I have been, what do you call it, committing these dates to memory, right? And so the 27th of December is the day before that mysterious motorcade from the Sandringham estate. And we wouldn't have known about it unless, well, until Kate's announcement of surgery on the 17th of January, right? And so once that was announced, then somebody started recalling the mysterious motorcade. And so then everybody was talking about it. But I still say that it is so bizarre that there's an announcement of Kate's surgery, and some 1 hour later, here comes the announcement of Charles having surgery. That is just remarkable. That is remarkable. And that it involved the two people who had been accused of being racist. I don't know what that connection is, but that it involves those two people, it just gives you pause. It makes you wonder about the timing of it and about the people that it concerned. And so the lack of appearances of Kate Middleton's family is something that should have been, I guess, reviewed by, let's say, the Royal Rota, if they actually were interested in doing their jobs, but they're not. They are an extension of the palace. They work as an extension of the palace. They're not interested of any accountability from the royals. There is no pretense of being objective. None. The president of the United States would be so lucky to have a press corps that is so involved with the political, even emotional success of the White House. They should be so lucky. But the royals, they have everything. They get to have their cake and eat it. They get to have their cake and eat it. So they don't care to do their jobs. They don't care to do their jobs. They will they coordinate with the palace via Rebecca English, right? Rebecca English is the gatekeeper, the one who decides which royal rodent goes to which event. And also, Charles wines and dines these people. William, I don't know how much time he spends with them, but he has a lot of currency with them too, likely to do with the settlement that he received with Murdoch, from Murdoch, right? And what his association with is with Lord Nappyhead, the racially ambiguous owner of the Daily Fail. I'm not sure, but they all seem to be in cahoots. The royal rodents and the newspaper magazine publishers, they all seem to be in cahoots with each other. So you can't expect them to ever do their jobs. Okay. Or do a proper job, I should say that. And just think how many people said that she ain't coming back. We probably won't see her this year. Let me get to some of those. What do you call it? Hey, Lydia Washington. Let me get to some of those. Okay, so these started coming out today. In hiding, cancer-stricken Kate Middleton absence sparks fear illness is worse than. Oh, actually, this one is not from today. What is the date on that one? Okay, that one is not from today. But in hiding, cancer-stricken Kate Middleton's absence sparks fear illness is worse than palace let on. What is really going on? Yes, what is really going on? What is really going on? Kate is a public figure, and the idea that she is entitled to that level of privacy at the taxpayer's expense, I believe, is nonsense. It's nonsense. It's one of those common sense things that you can have the emotional response. Yeah, she deserves it, but intellectually, no, no, not at the amount that is being spent on that institution. And then on the right side, from April 27th, Kate Middleton is not well. The one we have seen would not be the would not be the princess. The one, yeah, okay. Um, and I believe this. See, Kate Middleton is not well. The one we have seen. Oh, that's what I was missing. Have seen would not be. And of course, this is to do with the farmers market, which that young lady that walked out of that farmers market was very, very, shall we say, energetic, was moving extremely fast for someone who appears on the bench in a couple of days. Shall we say, channeling a Renaissance Jesus painting. That's what I call it, where she seems to look somewhat ethereal and at peace with herself, which by itself is also kind of scary to think. But yeah, that happened. Just I don't know, that little timeline between the farmers market and let me see, I believe there was then the Franken photo. No, no, no. Farmers market. Yeah, right. Franken photo. Or was it Franken photo? No, farmers market. Franken photo. That's the one that was heavily patched together. Oh gosh, I can't even remember the order of that one. Oh well, but and then of course there's Kate on the bench. Now let me try to get to those ones that came out today. Oh, okay. Still, let's do this one first. Concha Coachella from Fiesta against the British Royal House by Kate Middleton. Something has gone wrong. The journalist has spoken out after the British Royal House has denied her information. So they deny. Wait a minute. Have they vigorously denied it, or have they just said nothing? But what's missing is the lack of lawsuit. If someone like the Marca and Concha Coachella, Williams sued that French publication for the topless photos. It would seem like something as serious as this. I mean, they have threatened people with their lawyers over Rose Hanbury, but it seems like something like this, you would march right to the lawyers. You'd be like, hey, send them a cease and desist letter. There has not been one mentioned. Or we need to file suit, right? They're in the European Union. Surely the European courts would have something to say about it, including whatever treaties there may or may not be between the UK and Spain. You would think they have something to say. Nothing. Nothing. I don't think they ever denied it. And shadowy Russian actors spread Princess Kate conspiracies analysis fine. I never believed that. They made it seem like they were trying to out Kate in some kind of way, as that would probably cause havoc or somehow destabilize the United Kingdom. How is that possible? She's not the head of state. That's Charles, and then William, and then George. So, I mean, I hate to say it, but she's not that important. She's not that important. She is not the one who will sit on the throne and reign. She will, and hopefully, she's still able to someday appear and sit beside her husband to open Parliament. But for now, it doesn't seem like that's ever going to happen. Okay. Take a look at a couple of your comments here. Well, I mean, Concha Coachella, they said that she had been in a coma, allegedly, right? They said she had been in a coma. Okay. We all know that the woman at the farmer's market was not Kate. KP has told us many lies that nothing said now is believable. Celia, you're absolutely right about that. The farmer's market that was purchased by the Sun. But the Sun does not deal in paparazzi where the royal family is concerned. That seems to be some rule that they have in place now. And so they gave it or to TMZ, which is also owned by the same people, the Murdochs. And then TMZ shares the video. And remember, this happened, what, a day or two after the big announcement of the outing. That grainy, unfortunately, poor quality video is supposed to provide proof of life, but it just brought more questions because the person that was skipping out of the farmer's market was not Kate Middleton. I did not want to believe myself that they would have pulled anything like that. But I just don't know how you can look at it any other way. According to Christopher Bosey, which got him in a lot of trouble with KP, got him in a lot of trouble. I mean, Christopher has suffered the slings and arrows for everybody, along with that one person that I'm going to say that the tabloids tried to dox. I'll talk about him later. Um, they were trying to send a message so that people would stop talking about it. And Christopher Bosey, because he's so credible, for sure, they did not want his words out there. And he said through the analysis of the video by a very powerful computer program, it said that the person skipping out of the farmer's market was in their 30s, in their early 30s. And comparing that to the Renaissance Kate, early, no, mid 40s, right? Mid 40s, possibly up to almost 50 years of age. That's what the analysis. Now, the computers that were used, I just don't think that anybody would make that up. And those computers are very good at you've used Google search before. You put a picture in there, Google finds it. They find it. And even if you have an Apple product, it has facial recognition. And so I tried to search for photos of Harry using the AI Harry, and it did not recognize that face as being Prince Harry. A very subtle thing. You look at it, you say, "Oh, yeah, that's an AI," but that you know it's Harry. But this one, that's how well this works. That's how well it works. So that program says that it was not Kate Middleton, and I believe Christopher Bosey. Connie Balmer, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. Okay. Oh, sorry about that. That's what I meant to. Hey, Iris Demonia. Oh, Ethan's husband is here. Very cool. Yes, it's like the Zapruder film, the Abraham Zapruder film. So we can find JFK's Zapruder film of his association all over the internet, but we can't find Kate's December. What is that? Is it Motorgate? Last ride to her. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, you cannot find that one? Now I did. I did make sure that I saved a copy of that in several places, but I didn't know that that was missing. Wow, interesting. Yvonne Clark, thank you for the super chat. If she is dead, that ghost photo was that prophetic? Is that what it is? Prophetic? Prophet, prophet, right? Well, okay, that ghost photo, the ghost photo. Are you talking about that official portrait where she looks like some type of Victorian, where she looks like one of the people that went down on the Titanic? Are you talking about that one? Or are you talking about the painting in the National Portrait Gallery? Or is it the Franken photo? But thank you so much for your super chat. But you guys, it would be such a stretch to assume that she is no longer alive. And I can't say anything is impossible. I just can't. But absent the absolute truth, I don't know what else we have to look at. I don't know what else we could believe. I just don't know. I don't know. But I hope for her children's sakes that she will have some type of miraculous recovery. But I don't see the reason why they cannot mention the type of cancer. Now, for Charles, I can understand it because Charles, who also has not uh, informed us what type of cancer he has, um, we can only assume, right? Because he went in there for his prostate. But whatever type of cancer he has, I don't think he's had this much energy in like 3 years. And um it would help their case a lot if they would just say this is the type of cancer it is. Make up something if you want to, but tell us what kind of cancer it is. It's 2024. Just tell us. The right to privacy for someone who is living on the public, the sovereign grant, I just don't agree with that. I don't. I just don't. If you are accepted, and the reason why I say that, because you all know if it was Harry and Meghan, remember how involved the public was with the Frogmore Cottage? If there's any place that a pregnant woman should feel safe, it is her home. And yet Meghan was made to feel very unsafe, right? Very what is the word I'm looking for? Uncomfortable in the Frogmore Cottage, which was gifted to them because of the daily newspaper rants. Even when she got out of the after the birth of Archie, remember, we pay, you pose. And that very same journalist was one of the main people defending Kate's privacy. The one that told us that we pay, you pose was the one that was one of several that was screaming, Kate has her right to privacy. Let me see. We pay, I want to see who that was. You pose. Who said that? Okay, hold on. Who said that? Okay, somebody help me out with that one because I can't remember. Oh, I know. It was Camilla Long. I'm trying to smash the royal family's contract with the public. We pay, you pose. She said that back on July the 14th, 2019. Right? And that same journalist was more than prepared to defend Kate Middleton. Right? That same journalist was very interested in protecting Kate's privacy. Huh. Okay. Yes, it was Camilla Long. Got it. Team Sussex are full of hate for our elegant princess. Is this her article? Yeah. Oh, no, that's Tomaley. That's Camilla Tominey. Okay, but I won't bother with that right now. Elaine Parker Thank you for being moderator. Thank you for the super sticker. And thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. Remember, our memberships only start at $4.99. That's just $4.99. Okay. Let's see here. Kate Middleton and Prince William are going through hell, says heartbroken designer friend. Remember that article? They're going through hell. They are going through hell. And I don't doubt it. I don't know if it's for the same reasons that we're led to believe. I mean, sure, cancer is enough. And, we're not allowed to question that, which is why there's no one asking any question. But we're not allowed to question that. So I'll just say, with cancer, yes, you are going through hell. But William seems to have moved on with his life in spite of it all. Now, I'm not in his home with their 62 servants. And of course, I am not in the home with William and their, what is it? Their courtiers, which, that's also the servants. But principally speaking, the round the clock care that Kate receives, his words, not mine, is that Kate has two Filipino nurses, right? And I'm sure those nurses did not like the fact that their ethnicity or their nationality was a talking point when someone asked how Kate is doing. So I just kind of imagine when William returned from that function that they were giving him the side eye. I could only imagine. I made this myself, by the way, that they were. It's not an AI, it's a cut and paste. I'm very proud of this one. But they were giving him the side eye. What do you mean, Filipino nurses? But he was definitely trash for that one. He was definitely trash for that. Prince William slammed for praising Kate Middleton's Filipino nurses. He made their race a focal point. You're welcome. Okay, so Joan Garcia says, Barron, as the judge recently told a Trump lawyer at the New York trial, you're losing credibility with me. You have to say the British tabloids and the British royal family, you are losing credibility with us. Thank you so much, Joan Garcia, for your comment, and thank you for 29 months membership. That is amazing. 29 months membership. So, source claim Kate Middleton may never come back to her previous role, royal role, that is, after cancer treatment. The royal source has warned the Princess of Wales may never return to her senior royal role amid her cancer treatment diagnosis. What kind of cancer makes that a thing? Now, Henry VIII, someone reminded us of a quote from Henry VIII from January 26. I think they are slowly preparing the public that Kate isn't coming back to even part-time royal work. That was January 26. That is what? 9 days after the surgery was announced? You mean to tell me 9 days after the surgery, Henry VIII actually, put it out there at that time that she ain't coming back? Not even part-time. Doesn't that give you chills? You see that? January 26. And to be fair, there were other people along the way that were saying the same thing. But I found it very difficult along the way because I'm like, this is one of the most photographed women in the world, right? Thanks to her 10 years of courtship, when she was declared Waity Katie, when people had accused her family of being social climbers, worse than the Beckhams, I might add. Um, when the family was accused of being social climbers, when it was said that Carol Middleton, the air hostess, um, actually took her daughter out of one school and put her in another to make sure that she and William would become a thing. That family. I just found it very hard to believe that something as big as this could happen and there's not more questions. There's not a clear explanation because saying cancer is all encompassing. And as I said at the opening, I've had too much experience with the people I love to know that you don't just disappear. But they want us to accept that. They wanted Stephen Colbert to apologize for something he never said. He never said anything about her cancer. He didn't say anything about her disappearance. He focused on Rose, the Marquess of Cholmondeley, Marchioness, I'm sorry, of Cholmondeley. That's what he focused on. And that's when it all hit the fan. That, and of course, TMZ, when they said, you know what, we don't believe that that was Kate at the farmer's market. And my other favorite, the Australian video. Remember that one? The Australian video where they did a bullet point um, thing about how we get to where we are now. That also caused a panic. And by saying I am being treated or given preventative, oh God, I can't even say it again. But because of the cancer that had been present, I am getting preventative treatment through chemotherapy, which remarkably started either at March the 7th, no, March the 22nd, or sometimes before that, which also, oh, sorry. Oh, you guys, when this chair finally goes out, when this chair finally goes out, I hope it doesn't take me with it. But yeah, this chair has seen better days. Po chair just crying and whining. Get that chubby, overcaffeinated baby boomer off of me. Okay, so let me go on to the next one. Again, from today, Kate Middleton may never come back to her previous role, but she and Prince William have been reconnecting. Reconnecting? Does that imply that they've been apart? Does that imply that they have been apart? How are they reconnecting? Why would they be reconnecting? Explain that one. How are they? Why are they reconnecting? That's in Yahoo. Mahara Bonner. That's in Yahoo. I mean, it fits a lot of things that we have assumed, like, the allegation that they don't actually live together. Oh, Dorothy Ross is here. Hey, Dorothy Ross. So we have been assuming for some time that they don't live together, right? Can't prove it. It's all alleged. So reconnecting. So that kind of counters the idea that her family is with her now, right? She's with her birth family. So that sounds like she was with William and not her mom, right? Because there was speculation that she was with her mom. And now we're hearing that they're reconnecting. Strange. Matter of fact, that's the strangest thing since her family, she's with her birth family. And then Marie Claire says, when you purchased, oh no, not that. I'm sorry. Kate Middleton may never come back to her former royal role. She's currently recovering amid her cancer diagnosis. Huh? It doesn't take a lot to wave from a window, a balcony, a moving automobile, but we have Christmas Day, the last public sighting, where there was a crowd of people in Sandringham for the annual Christmas walk to church, right? Fine. Then there was the Audi with her mom, five wheels. And by the way, did you guys hear any stories about Carol Middleton having been involved in a terrible car accident? Did I imagine that? Was that like news one day and then the next day it was gone, never to be mentioned again? And by the way, when was the last time we've seen Carol Middleton? She certainly didn't come to the hospital to visit her daughter. We would have seen it. Mike, we would have seen it. Pippa, and of course, the purveyor of doggy snacks, James, we would have seen it. We haven't seen any of them. We've seen pictures of Pippa at the beach, right? As for James, I don't know that we've seen him publicly at all. Certainly not Mike Middleton. Don't they ever go to the gas station to get a pack of squares or anything? Where are those people? You see, as far as building up this narrative of love and concern, you would have, we know how the royal family works. You would have those photos. They would make a big deal out of it. But instead, we've only heard that the family, remember right after the announcement of surgery, that the family will surround her. And there was this whole storyline about how the Middletons were going to pitch in. We ain't seen them. William will bend heaven and earth to be with Kate. We saw him go to the hospital one time. We never saw him leave. We never saw him walk in. And the second vehicle appeared to have been occupied by what seems like Christian Jones, who I have been speculating about his closeness to Willie. What's that about? Who takes someone who doesn't work for Kensington Palace any longer, who left to go and do something else? And remember, Christian Jones is the one that Harry, according to Byline Investigate, Harry actually had a beef with Christian Jones about leaking. And when Harry wouldn't drop it, they dropped his official royal protection and took his money away 5 months after they stepped back. That Christian Jones. Christian Jones, who is very, very close to William, wink, wink, has so much, shall we say, his position is so important that they were willing to take everything away from Harry, including his colonel in chief or whatever. He's so important to that institution, to Willie, that he was there allegedly when Willie went to see his wife at the hospital. Matter of fact, I'm sure he's always there, possibly, allegedly. I'm sure he's always there. In what capacity? Don't know. Don't know. But remember, he's supposed to have left. What's his name? That little weasel, what is his name? Knopf, Jason Knopf. He's supposed to be gone. Who has a lot in common with Christian Jones. You couldn't make this up. You guys, this is going to be one hell of a lifetime movie. I want to know who's going to play Royal Sussex. VS speaks royally. Let's see. VS says, I'm sorry, I'm not even paying attention to the comments enough. I heard about that car accident of Mom Middleton, too. Yes, and nothing came of it. Nothing came of it. It just seemed like it was there, and then it wasn't. I mean, I'm sure it wasn't as bad as when Philip smashed into that woman's car and broke her arm. You know, when Philip rolled his car over, when the Royal Protection had to unbuckle him because he was hanging upside down in his Range Rover or whatever, it wasn't that serious. But then again, maybe it was. Maybe it was. I tell you, that is a really cool story to be able to say that the Duke of Edinburgh, Prince Philip, broke my arm and totaled my car. Not many people could say that. Or maybe there are some people and we just never heard about it. Carol Middleton, who has disappeared. You guys, listen, they would parade those people in and out of the residence so that there would be the human interest story about how loved Kate is, that her family won't leave her side. But we have not seen it, and not because of Kate's privacy. They don't have to show Kate. They didn't even show her mother at the hospital. There's no way that that's it. No, that just is impossible. That is impossible. That right there doesn't make sense. So, Carol Middleton and the car crash. Okay. Oh my goodness. Ooh. Was Kate Middleton's mom, Carol, in a car accident? I'm looking at that right now. Kate Middleton seen for the first that ain't true. Uh-huh. Yeah, it just kind of drops off from there. I don't see like an official news account of it, which is strange. Oh boy. But there are some TikToks out there. There are some people on TikTok that are talking about it. Okay, let's move on, you guys. Thank you so much. VS Speaks Royally. Okay. So, of course, that trip to Italy did not happen for the uh, Kate and William, obviously because the surgery. And remember, it was not emergency surgery, according to them. That it was a scheduled abdominal surgery. Well, as of the 17th of January, it was scheduled, but as for possibly December the 28th or whenever it actually was an emergency, that wasn't scheduled, right? This rollout, and you know what? Listen, do not feel uncomfortable about saying you find these things hard to believe because the rollout of the entire medical thing has been very sloppy. Kensington Palace has really let down the side where that's concerned. So let me see. What paper is that one? Gosh, I forgot. I know page 6 is on the right. I don't remember which paper that was. But Kate Middleton may never come back to her previous royal role after cancer treatment report. And over here, Kate Middleton may never come back to her previous royal role after. They're all running the same story. Two different writers. It's as though there was a what do you call it? Talking point that was put out for the purposes of preparing the public for the inevitable. I hope it's not as awful as people speculate, but it seems as though they're preparing us for some big news, just like they were preparing us for a possible royal divorce in 2024. It had gotten so bad that I was even wondering. Uh-oh. I was even wondering if I had made that up myself. I was really wondering if I had possibly have made that up myself. But then when I saw the oh God, I'm trying to find something on my phone, and as you can see, I'm bringing up other people. But let me try to see if I can find that lady. I want you to hear what she said about the okay. Okay. I want you to hear it directly from her. If at all possible. I know I saved it. This is the one that I shared with you on the in the what do you call that thing? In the community tab. I shared it with you not long ago in the community tab. Oh, I know how to find it. Sorry about that. I know how to find it. I have to go to my profile. My profile on Twitter. You guys, this is really getting very interesting. Every day. Oh, don't tell me they took those. Oh, I was going to say, please don't tell me they took those videos away. That would have been a nightmare. Okay, let me see if this is it.
I can't help myself. I've got to weigh in. Where the hell is Kate Middleton? As an Australian, I wouldn't speak for the entire Commonwealth, but Your Highnesses, you can hear the people as well as I can if you listen. Because while assorted royal mouthpieces are disparaging all speculation and assuring us that one highly dubious paparazzi photograph proves that all is well, the wife of the heir to the throne is taking several months off without warning and without so much as, in Kate Halfpenny's words, a phone snap of her in a dressing gown playing Uno with the kids. You would think that the 24/7 comforts of royal living and the 24/7 role of royal scions and those who consort with and produce them came with 24/7, at least monthly accountability. But no, apparently Catherine has the right to say, I don't want them to see me at all for as long as I feel the need. Or else Catherine is not able to say anything at the moment. I mean, wouldn't they at least prop her up on crisp white pillows, smiling bravely and sparking a fashion for lace bed jackets? I really can't see an in-between option here, and I have increasingly grave concerns for her health. Now, before you say who cares, as many will, let me add I am no great fan of Kate Middleton or the monarchy. But I'm also not just being kind, I'm watching fate and folly topple an empire. Technically, Kate's health is not a state issue. She's not in line to the throne. But in a monarchy already in crisis, weakened by the geopolitical schism between William and Harry, threatened by King Charles's cancer, where suddenly William seems unable to meet basic obligations, and now somehow it's being said that Camilla, of all people, has been holding the show together, To be down Princess Kate if she was so much as conscious is surely unthinkable. You know what I mean when I say I fear the worst. The vagueness of the narrative, the complete lack of foreshadowing to the original announcement, the indefinite extensions. There have been no confirmed sightings of Catherine since Christmas, and her name's been removed from the list for the Trooping of the Colour. That's in June. The silence and evasions from the palace, the absolute lack of any photographs whatsoever except that one grainy pap image that looks more like Kate's sister and mother on a grim visit. It all speaks of a palace taken unawares by some calamity, something they cannot spin. That's the worst part. Whatever's going on, the best PR departments in the Anglosphere can't figure out how to turn it to even modest advantage. What else might figure in the inevitable speculation about what's happened to Kate? Oh, yes, the Wales's less than happy marriage and William's notorious temper. I won't speculate here about specific possibilities because they're all horrendous. But if the palace doesn't wheel out the princess soon, surely questions should be asked in the house. Of course, Conservatives will claim she's a creature of exquisite refinement who lay on a pea and is terribly bruised. Leave her alone until she's pretty again. But that's not how a constitutional monarchy should operate if it wants to survive the political rough and tumble of the 21st century. Because this isn't just about Kate. It's about what happened to put her out of action indefinitely. It's about the ongoing appearance of deception and dysfunction, the statistical risks for women under patriarchy, no matter what their class, and whether something unacceptable is being covered up. Only those who would protect the monarchy at any cost could question our right to know. And I tell you what, if Kate really is just taking her time recuperating from abdominal surgery, I hope the rumour that she's in hiding to grow out bangs gave her a laugh fit to split her stitches. I can't help myself. I've got to weigh in. Where the hell is Kate Middleton?
Okay, sorry about that. So that is Philosophilia. Philosophilia. That is what she calls herself on TikTok. And I'll see if I can grab a photo of her. Yeah, she's good. That's all I can say is she's good. She's very good. And she has a few videos. I will share that on the community tab at some point. But yeah, she's very good. And she has been saying what a lot of people have been thinking. I'll just say that. She's been saying what a lot of people have been thinking. Okay. Let me get out of that. And I'm going to look at a couple of your comments before I go on. You guys are having a great chat, and I am so glad for that. I do apologize. I don't have a chance to see most of it. Annie Bullet, you are so right. You're so right. I have learned that the hard way. You really do. And trust me, I do have a lot of them, but I ought to make a record of that one too. Oh, there she is right there. Let me share an image of her, the lady that was just speaking. Okay. And coming up. There she is. There she is. That wasn't the exact video that I wanted, but it's still very good. I was trying to find the one where she mentioned about the announcement, and I was so glad that she made that video back then because it just reminded me that that was a thing. I had almost forgot about it because so much has happened since then. So much has happened. I almost forgot about the big announcement for 2024. But it is true. It is a real thing. And it did not happen. The big announcement is well, it wasn't about a divorce, which we speculated about. It was the abdominal surgery and eventually cancer. Oh, what's that? The Aussie News. Oh, yes, the Aussie News timeline. I do believe that I did a recording of that just to make sure we never lose it. But that one was so good. That was so good. And they went there. They went there and I was surprised. I was surprised because they're always so adept when it comes to bashing Harry and Meghan. I didn't think they had it in them, but they really showed the cojones that day. Okay. Right. And wait a minute, how come this ain't moving? Uh oh, wait, what was that? Oh, I just found another feature I didn't know exist. Uh-oh. No, I better not experiment right now. That's probably a bad idea. How did I do that? Mystic Toxin, thank you so much for being here. All right, so Kate Middleton may never come back. This is the New York Post, which is a Murdoch paper. You guys, let me see. One, two, three, four, five, six. I got six of these that I snatched off the interweb saying that the Princess of Wales is not likely ever coming back. That is the stuff of nightmares. And honestly, you guys, I'm not being sarcastic when I say this. I think her poor children, even if mommy is making them breakfast, that the natural order of things where that institution is concerned has abruptly changed cannot be a good thing. And especially when I am enunciating my statement in such a way that I am literally stretching my clavicles and bearing what's left of my bottom teeth. If I'm doing all these facial contortions, if I'm doing all these facial contortions when I'm saying this, then that means it's serious business. It is serious business. My eyes are bulging out and I'm baring my bottom teeth. This is serious business. So if I'm doing all that, then you know it must be serious. Either that or I'm having some kind of a spell. Um Hey B10 pal. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, let's go here. And by the way, Jerry White, if you're listen to me, watching. If you're watching, watching, I just made a new word. If you're watching, um, special shout out to you. Thank you so much for being a supporter and member of Royal Sussex. Okay, watching. I tell you, there was that time I think my English teacher put a hit out on me, but I can't help it. My grammar is very poor. So Darren Brown uh, tweeted this back in December, right? Unbelievable. At the Royal Variety, both were very lovely and terrific at the meet and greet. Incidentally, when she shook hands with me, she pressed a tiny piece of folded paper in my palm. I looked at it later. It had just one word written inside: help. Absolutely. That one is just, and I'm sure that he was just kidding. But then it makes you wonder, was he? As though he looked at her and thought that she was in some type of trouble. What did he mean by that? Was that like a premonition of some sort? Was that some type of premonition that he looked at that piece of paper and it said,
Police! 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 Help! Police! Help! Police! Help! Help! Police! Help!
Ain't nobody got time for that.
okay. So it said help or police. Police is implied. Although I don't think the Met Police would be able to help. I don't think anybody could help her at this point. Oh, okay. Well, give Cujo a high five for me. Now, Kate's cancer chemo crisis. Kate's cancer chemo crisis. This came out this past May. What the royals are hiding? What the royals are hiding? Um, but to be fair, you all, they had speculated about Kate having cancer before Charles made his announcement. Before Kate made her announcement, one of the tabloids had already speculated about cancer. Now, Rebecca English, Buckingham Palace has been inundated with tens of thousands of cards, letters, and gifts of good wishes for the Princess of Wales since the start of the year. Correspondent staff have been so touched by the public support for her. Um, I don't know if I believe that only. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people have written letters and such, but I don't know that it's that um overwhelming as she say, and I'm going to tell you why. Because there was no vigil outside of the hospital. There was, I mean, it's like if again, there are ways that you want to tell a story. You didn't see the mountain of flowers arriving at the hospital. With any public figure, there's going to be flowers, right? Nothing. Just that very odd twig looking plant that they removed from the hospital when Kate allegedly left the hospital, even though we have not seen Kate go in or out. The other thing is when a celebrity or famous person, public person, is in hospital, as they say, you always hear about the donation of flowers, that the flowers that was sent for so and so was taken over to a care home or to some pensioners or seniors or whatever. You heard no mention of that, that Kate donated her flowers to someone else. Because sadly, I don't think there was any. I don't believe there has been that overwhelming outpouring of support. It just has not happened. They tried the same thing with Philip when he died. They were trying to make people overcome with grief. They were hoping to have the wailing in the streets, like Diana's untimely, mysterious death in that tunnel in Paris. And instead, you had people calling Ofcom complaining that their regular television service has been interrupted for some funeral. That's what you got. So we're in a bit of a bubble as supporters of Harry and Meghan. The amount of support for that institution is not so great. It really is not so great. They have been beneath water. They are below the watermark for the first time in history of the polls taken about that institution. They were at 48% popularity. that was only interrupted by the cancer thing. That's the only thing that interrupted that. People called into Jeremy Vine saying that they don't get the same type of medical care that we do, and they're not dealing with the NHS. We are. There were a lot of people that, and listen, you guys, British people can be very surly like that, which is why um, Prince Philip said when he was speaking about how so many royal families, how many dynasties have collapsed over the years, he said it's not the people that don't support them, it is the people that are the most ardent supporters that seal the faith of the royal households. In other words, it's those people that are closest to you that will be your undoing. It's not people like you or me or anybody else who is not the greatest monarchist or maybe even anti-monarchy, but it is the people that look up to them. It's the people that show up at all of the events. They're the ones that have some awakening, and next thing you know, they are, chasing them to the Tower of London. More news from Concha Conchella, the Spanish journalist who said Kate was in a coma. See screenshot. The treatment is not finished until August, and she will have to undergo another surgery before the end of the year. She's going to have to undergo another surgery before the end of the year. And I don't really want to put into words what people have speculated about what's going to be the next announcement after the next surgery. Okay? But if the announcement is true, I'm just going to say that Kate won't be needing any new snow tires this winter. Okay? She won't be needing those. If you're picking up what I'm putting down. Again, it's all speculation. It's all just wild assumptions until we know for sure. But Henry VIII said in January that Kate may never come back. And here it is, June the 5th. And Kate has not come back to royal duty ever since. There was at least one American president, Woodrow Wilson, who had a stroke. And his wife took over his diary, and no one could see him unless they went through his wife. And there was some period of time when she did all the talking for him and possibly signing, papers that had to do with the ship of state. So essentially, she was the regent, if you want to call her that. We don't really have that, but she was the acting president. So if anybody says, well, we've never had a woman president, not officially. So my point is that people can stay in these very big roles and away from the cameras, and the public, being as fickle as the public is, out of sight, out of mind. So by saying that Kate is not coming back, they are preparing people at the very least that you're never going to see her again. Or worse. Okay? You're never going to see her again, or worse. That seems to be what the preparation is. Again, I hate to speculate what worse is. What is it? Is Concha? What is it? Concha? Okay. Concha. Huh? Okay. Right. Thank you. All right. Wait, one more time. It's that word right there. That's what it is. Okay. Let's see. Miss P says Harry looks at his wife with love, and Willie leaks looks at his wife with disdain. Oh, now that's so unfair. That is so unfair. I mean, listen. I have seen the way that they have looked at each other, and it's like fire and music when William and Kate glance at one another. I have never seen anybody that have been as warm and adoring of one another as William and Kate. I mean, look at this right. Oh yeah, I see what you're talking about. Never mind. Never mind. I stand corrected. I mean, okay, I tell you what, this is just one isolated incident. How about that time when Kate was explaining something and William was looking at her so adoringly, just like Harry does with Meghan, like right here? It's okay, never mind. But then, okay, so Kate, I know that Kate always looks to him with admiration and love and oh, okay, never mind. You're right. You're right. You're right, Shouty. Hey, Shouty, you're right. You're right. I stand corrected. But it's the way that they seem to glow when they're together and they're just like looking out at all their supporters and everything. Look at their warm faces. Ooh. Um, mm. Phew. Well, I'm sure there's been some times when they were happy, are happy. They just don't show it publicly. Woo! Okay, okay. All right. I stand corrected. You know better than I do. I just was trying to help. That's all. uh, I mean, I don't want you to think that I'm a Camilla Tomini, like I just make up stuff, right? Or that I'm a Angela Levin, where I just make up stuff. Oh well. So Kate's cancer ordeal. Now, this is what I want you guys to take notice of. The date of that article, which I've shared several times, but the date of that article is February 5th. February 5th. And what happened on February 5th? I'll never forget it. I know exactly where I was when I heard the news. On February 5th, 2024, the date that Inquirer magazine was published, that was the day that they announced Charles has cancer. Isn't that a coincidence? The National Enquirer, an American tabloid, made the announcement on February 5th. Kate's cancer ordeal. Kate did not confess the cancer until March the 22nd. How did they know? How did they know? Interesting, isn't it? Interesting. The National Enquirer, who's known to stretch the truth, right? They say Kate's cancer ordeal, terrifying diagnosis. What happens next? William sick with fear. And of course, they had me until they said William sick with fear, but William sick with fear. Okay, let me stop doing that. But fighting for life after emergency surgery. Now remember, they said that it was a scheduled surgery, that it was not an emergency. But that's only because I speculate, and other people have speculated, that the emergency was the 28th of December, where someone at Sandringham House had suddenly taken ill, or the Sandringham estate, should I say. The motorcade was seen racing from the Sandringham estate. If you are not familiar with that, on the 28th of December, that motorcade was seen racing from the Sandringham estate with a police escort toward the hospital. And the person who made the video, that tweeted the video, said, "I hope everyone's okay." This was not someone against the royal family. It sounded like somebody who was genuinely concerned for the royal family. And then on the 17th of January, then that's when things got really bizarre. Because remember, most people did not have that motorcade on their radar. I didn't hear about it until the 17th. So that 28th of December motorcade, which became widely known but unreported by the tabloid media on the 17th of January. As a matter of fact, I still don't believe the tabloid media has touched it. They have not touched it. But you know who did? That Australian news story. That Australian news story, they touched it. Yep. They sure did. That's what made it so compelling. That was one of the things that made it incredibly compelling, is that they went to a place where others would dare not venture, would prefer to avoid speculating or even questioning. And then, of course, by the by the February 5th, by February 22nd, I believe it was, that is when the Inquirer says pancreatic cancer can't be stopped. King Charles, 6 months to live. Plans £250 million funeral. Sons William and Harry reject plea for peace. And will the monarchy survive? Bum, bum, bum. I mean, it's like a soap opera. Will the monarchy survive? Of course it will. There's always going to be a monarchy. But whether they end up like the Greece or the Greek royal family, that remains to be seen. At the very least, I think that some of the money and the privileges will be taken away. If they have taken away the royal yacht Britannia, who knows what else they're willing to do away with. What you need is another, I won't say another Tony Blair because that didn't work out so well, but someone who had the wherewithal, the intelligence, the emotional intelligence, as well as responsibility to take away that big ticket item that had outlived its usefulness. That was built before the jet age. Totally not necessary. But I believe, take a look at the one on the right, January 8th. This is how they were planning to start the year. With the big look toward Kate and William. They have been doing that for years, by the way. Declaring Kate and William king and queen in waiting, all that stuff. Kate's secret strength. Well, God knows she was going to need it, because just around the corner was a story that had everybody's hair standing up. Abdominal surgery. Remaking the royal family. Oh, it's going to be remade, all right. As a matter of fact, it's going to be down at least 4 senior royals. It's going to be down at least 4 senior royals. It looks like Willie's going to be on his own. Just William and Jack Daniels. allegedly. But in better times, Kate was always considered very athletic. I mean, if you take a look there, no one was ever able to throw their legs up higher than Kate Middleton. As you can see there, she is pointing the bottom of those shoes to heaven. So I'm hoping that that's the Kate that we're going to see real soon, just as we've always known her. And take a look on the right. That's the Kate Middleton video that, really caused a lot of questions. And that was Kate Middleton's new video shows her happy, healthy with William. See how different that is to what we have today? You have Kate emerging from the farmer's market. This is TMZ. TMZ acquired the video from The Sun. Kate Middleton's new video shows her happy, healthy with William. And that just simply was not the case. That, well, at least from what they have shared with us, Kate is not that healthy, vibrant person. Kate is that ethereal, Christ-like figure sitting on the bench with the flowing locks and the golden hue upon the sky. Yeah, that's, is it over? Is it over? Now, let me see. That was, what is the date for that one? Let me see. Is it over? Yeah, that's April 2024. And this is In Touch magazine. Kate takes off her ring. William fights for his marriage. Oh, yeah, okay. They're making up some stuff here. Is it over? New affair rumors and cruel cover up. The embattled princess take historic action to protect her kids, her title, and her future as palace staff scramble to hide the truth. Now, that one, I believe, that is something they're very adept at, is hiding the truth. Now, this is what I was talking about earlier. The new king, king and queen, the mom who will be queen, the next queen, king and queen, the new king and queen, preparing for the throne. Meet the new queen, Queen Kate, king and queen. Kate prepares to be queen. Royal mom, future queen, take the throne. Catherine, a portrait of the whatever. And of course, what is that? Portrait of the future queen. All of these things probably grated on nerves of that silky chicken and concubine. You know her best as Camilla, the queen consort. That probably grated on her nerves. Let me see. Let her come back with a face of a 16-year-old girl. No, that would be funny. Well, you know what, Connie Bomber? I don't know if you ever watched Fresh Prince, but there was the original Aunt Viv, and then there was the new Aunt Viv. And there was never any explanation why Aunt Viv was, this darker, shall I say, maybe a little more statuesque figure. And then all of a sudden they come back with someone that, looks like the older version of, what's her name? The daughter. What was her name? The very, you know what I'm saying. But anyway, so yeah, something had changed and nobody said anything. It was like, you just carry on. And soap operas do it all the time. They just put in another person. And I think that if you consider The Crown, they just rotate from one sovereign to the next. Well, actors to play those roles. And you just pay no bother to think about it because they're in character and that's it. So if Kate comes back looking like, I don't know, Rose Hanbury, we're just going to roll with it, aren't we? We're going to say nothing. We'll be very polite. Um, we're not going to say, hey, isn't that the. We're not allowed to do that. We're supposed to just play along. So that's what I'm going to do. I am not going to say a word. I'm just going to be like, I think she did something to her hair. And I'm going to keep it moving just so that, so I don't alarm anyone. I'm just going to open up the show like I usually do, talking about my chair squeaking. I'm out of cookies, um, that kind of stuff. Oh, my arthritis. I think it's going to rain today. That usually stuff I say. And I'm just going to keep on keeping on. That's all. I'm not going to pay any attention to the fact that Rose Hanbury is now the Princess of Wales. I will just, I'm going to follow the royal rodents. Whatever the royal reporters say, I'm just going to pretend like they're telling the truth. Okay? So, Princess Kate, the future of the monarchy rests on her shoulders. Why the royal family needs her more than ever before. Now, see, this seems to be a bit of a counter. Thank you, Lady Rose, who is not Rose Hanbury and a fan of, I'm sorry, Gwendolyn Daniels. I thought this was someone called Lady Rose. I guess there is someone in the chats, Lady Rose. I'm just like, is Rose Hanbury watching with her burner account? That would be fun, right? Sitting up there with all of those antiquities from China. That would be interesting. So, as I was saying, the future rests on her shoulders. And I don't know if this was just I don't know what the purpose of this was, but it's Hello Magazine. They're always in cahoots with oh Lord, what am I doing here? Went too far. Prince William's role is changing. What does he really want to do with it? Well, I think he wants to be a single father. I do have receipts, but I didn't add it today. But I'm going to do something chronological one of these days where I'm going to take all of my receipts and I'm going to line them up and we're going to go through it, point by point. But I do recall that there was a couple of articles where they said William preparing to go it alone in so many words, meaning that the picture of him with his children and no Kate Middleton, right? And then, of course, let us recall that Kate was not welcome to go to Singapore. Kate was not welcome to go to New York. And they made the announcement before January that they were not going to necessarily do those joint appearances any longer. And to prepare Kate for going it alone, Kate's first and only trip abroad, there I go enunciating again, but Kate's first and only trip abroad, solo, meaning that she took several aides and royal protection officers. She just didn't have William. She went to Denmark. Now, the people of Denmark still aren't sure why she was there. Kate was late. The palace tried to boss around the Danish press, and to retaliate, the Danish press issued several unaltered, unfiltered images of Kate. And then Kate was late to meet the Queen of Denmark. And let me tell you, this is something that would have been a problem if it had happened to Meghan, but it didn't happen to Meghan. It happened to Kate. Kate was walking in front of the Queen of Denmark. I repeat, Kate went strutting in front of her. And apparently, at the time, Crown Princess Mary had to say, hey, in so many words, she goes first. Okay? Kate is so unpolished and not used to being on her own. When she goes abroad, she usually follows William's lead. Well, in this particular instance, she was on her own and made some epic mistakes, like late on arrival, late to meet with the Queen of Denmark, and then actually walked in front of her. And then when it was time to do a photo op of the Queen and the Crown Princess and the Princess of Wales, the Queen had to tell her, listen, get over here. Why are you over? I mean, she didn't say it like that, but she had to nudge her over so that they could, take the photo. It was just very weird, but very unprepared. So I'm going to do a timeline. I promise you that is coming because this topic, I never get tired of it. It's just too interesting. Kate Middleton's new. Okay, I did that already. Kate Middleton may never come back. We did that. Um, what happens if Prince William commits a serious crime? Ooh, that was in February. That was the one that really got tongues wagging. Met Chief says millions of men are danger to women and girls in England and Wales. National strategy beyond policing and criminal justice system needs to tackle problem. Sir Mark, was it Raleigh says? Huh. What do they mean by that article that came out on the 4th of June? What do they mean by that? Interesting. Trapped, which is how I would describe Kate Middleton these days. As a matter of fact, when I made this slide, it was, I believe, after the Denmark trip. But trapped is quite accurate because this is not what she signed up for. Kate did not sign up to be Meghan Markle. Kate signed up to smile and wave, not to do this kind of work. At one time, they said Kate had even thought about taking 15 years away from official royal duty so that she could care for her children. Even though they have a whole team of nannies, it did not matter. She expected a lot of room to do nothing. And not only Kate, to be fair, William as well. Kate and William made the excuse of not wanting to do as much work as 80 and 90-year-old senior royals or the other royals like the Gloucesters and the Kents and such. She made the excuse, they made the excuse about the children, even though the Queen and Philip took 6 months abroad to tour the Commonwealth. You guys, I believe in being as available for children as possible. But you do know that there are, let's say, men and women who work aboard submarines that deploy for months at a time and are unable to see their children. There are people that deploy to other military bases around the world that have worked for multinational companies and such, that have migrated to another country and get a job and send home money for their families. That's a real thing. So if that is something that still happens for tens of millions of people around the world who have relocated, then how come William can't tour the Commonwealth? He wasn't going to do it before Kate got sick. He certainly ain't going to do it now. So this whole excuse that they make for William and Kate and their precious children, they are precious. But life goes on and people got to go to work. People got to go to work. Kate ought to be at work. William ought to be at work. Charles is at work. No excuses. William says Kate would have loved to attend D-Day anniversary event as he tells veterans she is better and speaks affectionately of her codebreaker grandmother. Um, I guess Kate had I don't know. But as you can see, Willie is bent over talking to that gentleman there. And he asked if Kate is better. And so the very well rehearsed lines, no doubt, is what he shared with the gentleman about Kate's progress. And I just want you to know that this man is probably in his 90s and fought in the Second World War and managed to make it across the English Channel to celebrate D-Day. But Kate Middleton cannot even wave from a moving vehicle for whatever reason. How is that possible? How is that possible? Big difference is this man does not receive money from a sovereign grant and live in these palatial palaces thanks to the subjects that pay taxes in the United Kingdom. That's why I say I agree with Christopher Bosey. Um, there are X amount of people every year that are diagnosed with cancer. They don't just disappear off the face of the earth. Kate did for whatever reason. Interesting. Anyway, I'm just about done, you guys. Let me see. I got this right here. Kate and William terrible rows, shocking claims that the Prince and Princess of Wales romance is not all sweetness. I ain't shocked. I ain't shocked. And of course, it is a puzzle wrapped inside of a mystery, wrapped inside of a riddle, right? That's what it is. It's all of those things. Where is Kate Middleton? And of course, there was this thing where that doctor seemed to think that there was something odd about the way that announcement was made of preventative chemotherapy, but we'll never know the difference because so far, until somebody writes a very scathing novel, we won't have anybody push back any further than they have already. Oh, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to close. Oh, that one is kind of gruesome. I'm going to I'm going to close with the you know what? I'll come back to that one. But take a look at this. This is like something that was making the rounds um, on the Twitter, and it seems like the story, or should I say, the outcome, kind of changed a bit. Instead of that being the end for two people, it seemed like it ended up being one person. But that gives you an idea of how things have degraded in terms of coverage of the royal family. There is no deference, there's no consideration. They have become jokes. People have become, they have been fodder. They have become tabloid fodder, but just not the British tabloids. It's sad that she has had to be so honest. Friends of Kate say it was almost desperate that Princess had to open up. So they, the tabloids gave us these front covers, and they kept changing the wording. Kate's battle against trolls. Um, Kate has cancer. They changed the narrative for the very same photos again and again, and they tried to blame, um, let's say, Kim Kardashian. On my way to go find Kate. I mean, it became a joke, but only because of the very sloppy rollout from Kensington Palace. That is a nightmare of their own creation. And how about this one? And I'm just going to say this is a lie. How William discovered Kate had cancer before he pulled out of King Constantine's Greece memorial service at St. George Chapel, they assured us that it had nothing to do with Kate. They repeated that for days. It had nothing to do with Kate because the tabloids did not have their instructions to lie on his behalf. And then, as soon as Kate made the cancer announcement, then that's when it was authorized to say, yeah, that's why he pulled out. He just found out that day. Not back in March, not back in March, or I'm sorry, not March, but not back in February or January. Don't take that long to find out these things. But he finds out about it on the 22nd of March. And then suddenly that became his excuse for pulling out of that service. And mostly because people, this was one of the things that caused so much speculation. Royals never do that. They never do that. They just kept repeating it. They never do that. But then all of a sudden, we're supposed to believe that William was so upset and so grief stricken over the idea of this toxin living inside of Kate's body that he just couldn't bring himself to go to. This is supposed to be William, the future king. The Queen went back to work the same week that Philip's funeral happened. Went right back to work. The Queen worked with cancer, with bone cancer, in throbbing, burning, searing pain. She continued as much as she could. But William finds out somebody else got cancer, and he's a heap of tears on the floor. Right? He is in a fetal position because he finds out somebody else got cancer. A cancer which is stable and being treated in a preventative way. Preventative cancer treatment. I could imagine what would happen if it was cancer and not preventative cancer. You get what I'm saying? You get me? Because if it was cancer and not preventative cancer treatment, then I suppose he would have gone with Thomas Kingston. But no, it is not his cancer. It's, to be fair, his wife's cancer that was present and is not present and being treated with chemotherapy for an morbidly curious, long, extended period of time. Eva Borglund, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Why is there a rule that the king is above the law and can't be tried? And does that apply to the heir too? Well, I believe that anyone in the presence of the king cannot be arrested, right? Which is why, they said that what's his name would not leave Balmoral, Andrew. But until you become sovereign, you're not supposed to have that blanketed protection. However, Charles was never really investigated for cash for honors because he was the future king. And so surely there is no scenario where William will ever be investigated for possibly uh, exploding with his incandescent rage. I mean, I think what happened to Harry was an assault and probably should have been a court matter, but that's not possible because it's Willie. And William's not allowed to fail. He's not allowed. So I said I was going to go back to that other one where we're going to close with Kate The AI Kate. Now remember, this is the AI Kate, not Kate, but AI Kate. Remember, AI Kate. Let me see here. Yeah, it's good. It's going to be AI Kate. But anyway, thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex for this very special edition of Where's Kate Middleton? I really do appreciate you all being here. And it is the question of the day. The question of 2024 is, where is Kate Middleton? Where is she? Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm all done. I'm just going to play this little 30-second video, and then I am out of here. No long goodbye. And I don't know. I doubt if I'm going to come back later. But if there is something that develops, you're going to see me later. You're going to see me sooner rather than later. But I doubt if I'll be back. But thank you so much for being here. Thank you, as always, for watching Royal Sussex. This has not been a Mark Goodson or a Bill Totson production. No animals were maimed or injured throughout this making of Royal Sussex. There was no gratuitous violence or nudity. Maybe some boxer shorts and some black socks, but no nudity. No, that didn't happen. Okay, now, if only I can find it. Oh, okay, I'll do it like this then. Oh, TMCD, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for constantly supporting this very odd channel. I'm very proud of how bizarre Royal Sussex can be sometimes. I'm sure it gives everybody something to look forward to.
December 2023. I made
Okay, here goes.
On the 25th of December 2023, I made my last public appearance with my family at their Sandringham estate in Norfolk, England. It has now been over 5 months and I have not been seen in public, nor have I been seen with my children who mean so much to me. The photos and videos that have been released have been AI manipulated, including the audio which you are listening to. Please keep asking questions. Something is not right and you might still be able to help. Thank you.